Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Infinity Dove Tarot and Dowsing. My name is KEIRSTIN. Today I wanted to read about this White House Correspondents' Dinner event that went down this past Saturday. It was supposed to be a night of jokes and journalism, but it turned into total chaos. We all saw Trump and Melania rushed off stage, reporters diving under tables, and now this new character, Cole Thomas Allen, he's in custody after having been tackled in the foyer. So, there have been a lot of attempts on Trump's life, and they all seem kind of staged. And that's the question everybody has around this one. Something about it felt off and timely. So I've got my cards laid out. I'm using the Simply White, Black and White deck and the Everyday Oracle. So let's see if it was real or staged. First question: was it real or staged? This shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And first card we got is Bugaboo, annoying, irritating, invasive, constant worrying. Picture of this woman. She's using fuckboy begone spray, and she's clearing out these nasty bugs with male heads on her counter. This is a card about an invasive problem that causes you constant worry. And I clarified that with Doctore, the doctor. A doctor holding a patient's hand. He's checking the pulse. He's totally focused on finding a healing solution. When I put these two cards together, it tells me that Cole Allen didn't see himself as a shooter. He saw himself as a doctor. He looked at Trump as a sick man, and he saw a bugaboo. He saw an invasive problem that needed to be treated, that needs to be treated to make the country healthy again. And he thought he was the medicine. The facts I have about Cole Allen is that he's 31 years old. He's an engineer, highly educated. He went to Caltech. He works as a tutor. He doesn't have a criminal record. And he doesn't feel he was committing a crime. He feels like he was treating a sickness. So his intention was real. I don't believe this was staged. I believe he really set out to do this. He wasn't an actor. He wasn't paid. He was a man who was intending to spray the problem away. A spray of bullets. So what was Cole's motivation? What was his reasoning? And I got the window seat reversed, clarified by Delaranti. So hold on. Window seat when it's upright. The window seat when it's upright represents taking a hiatus, hermit mode, isolation, taking time for yourself. When it's reversed, the eye mask is off. This would represent Cole's energy. He's out of hermit mode. Clarified by Delaranti, meaning the lunatics. He's swayed by delusional thinking, ideologies, extreme ideologies, and false doctrines, and bad influences. That's what this card represents. We know that Cole wrote a manifesto. He called himself the friendly federal assassin. He said he wouldn't let a PDF, A traitor and a rapist coat his hands with crimes. So, this might have been the echo chamber he was living in. And he decided to act on this delirious mission. So I asked for more information on Cole's mindset, Cole Thomas Allen's mindset, and I got Karma Served and La Namika. There's this waiter here lifting a dome, he's showing the scales of justice, and he's serving it to this lone woman in the restaurant. I feel like Cole felt he was restoring balance, needed balance. He thought he was delivering Trump justice that he deserves. The unknown enemy card, right? This is an unknown enemy. Tells me there was no familiarity. He wasn't hired. He wanted to expose Trump, whom he believed was wearing a mask. See, this person is wearing a mask, but was secretly a traitor. He felt like his mission was to he felt justified in his mission to take Trump out. He thought he was unmasking a truth and delivering justice. He thought he was an instrument of justice. That's what I get from those cards. So how does Cole Thomas Allen, so it seemed like he got three first names as his name. Cole Thomas Allen feel about his actions now. And we got constant bullshit and love conversations. So you see this woman here, she's drawing shit piles on a calendar. And that's his life now. And he realizes that nothing really has changed. And nothing is gonna change as a result of his actions. And this shows him being interrogated now, under intense observation. Having conversations with the FBI and his lawyers. And people are paying attention to him now. He's finally getting the attention that he wanted. Maybe he was an isolated person who never felt acknowledged. Maybe that's why he felt chosen, like he had this mission, that it was his mission to serve Trump justice. I don't feel like he's sorry. He just thinks it's the same shit, different day. And he's glad to finally have a seat at the table and that people are finally paying attention to what he has to say and how he feels. Was the Secret Service tipped off? Did they know he was coming? Did they use this to their advantage? Because something about it still feels off. even though the cards say his intentions were real, something about it still feels off. And I have survivor and speranza, meaning hope. So was the Secret Service tipped off? Did they allow this to happen? Again, a woman. We got woman, 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 woman. There's a lot of female energy in this, but I don't know. I don't know who this female energy is or what part they play. Maybe Cole has identity issues, sexual identity issues. I don't know if that's important to this story. I'm just trying to figure out why there's just all this female imagery. Here and here. Still hasn't come to me. I've been trying to figure this out. Sorry, I'm holding it off the screen. But anyway, was the Secret Service tipped off? We got Survivor and Speranza. The woman on an island. Sharks are circling. She's waving at a helicopter in the sky. Come to save. And it says survivor, overcoming obstacles, beating the odds, pulling through, coming out stronger than before. And speranza, meaning hope, shows a woman holding a heavy anchor with little effort. So I feel like, well, we know that the Secret Service tackled him at first contact, and an agent did get hit, but it was wearing a bulletproof vest. So when I look at Speranza, that tells me that there was an anchor or safety mechanism already set. He was wearing a bulletproof vest. So there was divine protection, prayers answered. That's what this card means. So that sounds like they were prepared. Of course they're prepared. That's their job. I don't know if they always wear a bulletproof vest, but I feel like they weren't surprised. They were anchored in the outcome. I do feel like they were tipped off. They knew Cole was in the hotel room on the 10th floor. They allowed the sharks to circle because they had a survivor move already in play, in motion. This helicopter here. I know I'm speaking in metaphors, I'm speaking in symbology, but you feel the energy, and that's what I'm reading. I'm reading the energy. And I feel like that's why the reaction in the room was so stale. They kind of knew they had it under control. And the hope for safety was already locked in. It was a managed risk to show that Trump could beat the odds. And once again, Trump beat the odds. So putting it all together, this is what I'm seeing. This was a real attempt, and Cole did genuinely intend to harm Trump and anyone in the way, because he saw him as a disgusting problem that needed to be eliminated. His motivation came from a distorted worldview. He wrote a manifesto calling Trump a PDF, a traitor, and a rapist. And he saw himself as the friendly assassin. I think he was heavily influenced by radical online ideologies. He saw himself delivering karmic justice to one really deserving of it, an instrument of that justice with a mission. But his mind was twisted by hatred, and he believed he was unmasking a truth about Trump, that Trump is secretly a traitor. Not enough people talk about Trump being a traitor. Now that Cole is caught, apprehended, and arrested, he feels like nothing has changed despite his actions. But he's not remorseful. He's actually satisfied that he's being listened to and that he has a platform to share his views through interrogations and interviews. Now, was the Secret Service tipped off? I don't feel they were surprised. There's an anchor here in divine protection and rescue. All prepped and ready to go. They managed a high-risk situation to create a survival narrative for Trump, making it look like he beat the odds once again. So it's a complex situation. I don't believe it was staged in the sense that Cole was an actor hired, or I believe his intentions were real. I believe he's not mentally sound, highly intelligent but not mentally sound. But there was some stuff behind the scenes that went on that used this to favor Trump's outcome. It makes me wonder about all the other assassination attempts that we've seen throughout history. How many were completely unexpected versus known threats that were allowed to develop? That could be a reading on its own. But anyway, I appreciate you guys listening and spending time with me. If you like the reading, please make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. If you'd like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. And next time, I think I might do a reading on how this might affect the upcoming election. Will it change how people vote? I don't think so. I think most people are turned off. He's cried wolf too many times. Nobody thinks this was real. He's not really getting the sympathy vote. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.